You're sitting on the couch. Your budgie flies up, lands on top of your head, and starts walking around like they own the place. You laugh. You always laugh. Maybe you film it. Maybe you tell them to come down. Maybe you just let them do their thing, because honestly, it's adorable, and you have no idea why they keep doing it. But what if they're not being cute? What if every single time your budgie climbed onto your head, chose a direction to face, decided whether to walk or stay, tug your hair or tuck into it, they were saying something? Not vaguely, specifically, with a meaning that changes based on details so small you never thought to look for them. Your budgie picked the most psychologically loaded spot in the entire room, and you've been treating it like a blooper reel. Hit subscribe, you're about to decode a behavior you've misread every single time. Why the head? Of all the places on your body, your hand, your arm, your lap, your shoulder, why does your budgie keep ending up on top of your skull? Because in your budgie's world, vertical space isn't geography, it's language. In a wild flock, where a budgie positions themselves vertically relative to other birds, communicates their social confidence, their felt safety, and their role in the group. Higher is bolder. Higher is safer. Higher is a statement. The top of your head is the highest point on the tallest creature in the room. There is no perch above it. When your budgie lands there, they haven't found a funny spot to hang out. They've claimed the throne. But what they do once they're up there, that's where most owners stop paying attention and the real conversation begins. 1. The slow walk, tall posture. Relaxed feathers. Watch for this one carefully. Your budgie lands on your head and doesn't rush. They walk deliberately, chest lifted, feathers smooth but not pressed. They look like they're surveying a kingdom from a balcony. In flock dynamics, this is a confidence display. The bird who perches at the absolute highest point with calm, unhurried movement is signaling dominance, not aggression, not control, but the quiet kind of authority that says, I am comfortable enough at the top to take my time. Your budgie is announcing to every living thing in the room that they outrank the creature underneath them. You, the giant. They're standing on your crown and they're not afraid, not rushing, not bracing. Most owners would hear dominance and worry. Don't. This isn't disrespect. A budgie only displays this kind of open confidence on something they trust completely. You can't stand on top of something you're afraid of and look relaxed. The dominance claim is the trust claim. They're the same thing said at different volumes. 2. The hair. The nibbling. The gentle tugging. Now watch their beak. When your budgie moves through your hair with small exploratory bites, gentle pulls, soft nibbles, beak running along strands, they're not playing. They're preening you. Allopreening. Mutual grooming. The behavior reserved for bonded flock members. In the wild, budgies preen each other's head feathers, the spots they can't reach alone. Your hair is the closest thing to feathers your body offers, and your budgie's brain made the connection without hesitation. But there's a detail hidden here that most owners miss entirely. How they tug matters. Soft, repetitive, almost meditative nibbling, that's grooming. Your budgie is maintaining you, caring for you the way they'd care for their closest companion. Aggressive pulling, yanking, carrying strands away, that's harvesting. Your budgie isn't preening your hair, they're collecting nesting material. The emotional implication is completely different. One says, you're my flock. The other says, you're my nest. And if nesting behaviors are escalating alongside this, you may be watching hormonal bonding play out on top of your head without realizing what you're reinforcing every time you let it continue. 3. The sudden flight upward. The emergency landing. This one will change how you feel about every startled moment you've ever shared. A loud noise, a door slamming, a shadow crossing the window. Your budgie panics, and instead of flying to the cage, the curtain rod, the highest shelf, they fly straight to your head. Sit with that for a moment. A prey animal whose entire evolutionary programming screams, fly high, fly far, fly away from danger, chose to fly toward you, not just toward you, to the top of you. The highest point on the one living thing their brain trusts more than architecture. The world got scary. I didn't fly away. I flew up. up to you. That is not comfort-seeking the way a child grabs a parent's leg. That is a survival decision. Their nervous system calculated every option in a fraction of a second, and the answer was the top of your head. You are not just their safe space. You are their emergency protocol. 4. The back-and-forth parade. The vocals. Not every headwalk is profound. Some of them are a show. If your budgie paces across your head left to right to left, chattering, chirping, maybe doing a little bounce, they've learned something clever. Every time they walk on your head, you react, you laugh, you talk, you reach up. You give them exactly what a social bird craves: most animated, engaged, vocal attention. Your head is their stage, and you're a captive audience who gives a standing ovation every performance. This one's harmless. Enjoy it. But know what it is. Your budgie reverse-engineered your psychology. They found the one behavior that consistently produces your most enthusiastic response, and they're running it on repeat. You didn't train your budgie trained you. 5. The refusal to come down. The bite when you reach. Here's where the laughter needs to stop for a moment. If your budgie camps on your head and bites hard, deliberately every time your hand approaches, something shifted. They're not playing, they're guarding. Your head has been reclassified in their brain from a perch to a territory. Their territory. And your hand is an intruder. This is resource guarding, the same psychology that drives a budgie to lunge at fingers reaching into their cage near a favorite toy or food bowl. Except now, the resource is you. Every amused reaction reinforces it. Every time you laugh and give up trying to retrieve them, the territory claim solidifies. This needs calm, boring, consistent redirection, not punishment, not force, just the steady removal of the reward until the behavior loses its payoff. 6. The burial, the silence, the stillness. And then there's this. Your budgie flies to your head, pushes into your hair, stops moving, and goes quiet. Completely quiet. Buried, hidden, still. It looks like snuggling. It feels like the deepest possible affection. Sometimes it is. But if this only happens during stressful moments, new environments, loud households, unfamiliar visitors, what you're seeing isn't comfort, it's concealment. A freeze and hide response. Your budgie feels unsafe in the room, and the only place their brain can think to disappear is inside your hair, pressed against your warmth, invisible. The distinction matters. A bird who nuzzles into your hair with soft chirps and loose feathers is bonding. A bird who buries themselves in silence with tight feathers is surviving. Same position, opposite meaning. Only you know your bird well enough to read the difference. Next time your budgie stands on your head, notice one thing nobody ever thinks to check. Which way are they pointing? Facing forward, same direction as you. Your budgie is orienting with you, moving as one unit. In flock flight, birds align directionally with their group. Your budgie is saying we're going the same way, unified, together. Facing backward, they've taken the rear position. The lookout, watching what's behind you because you can't, guarding the angle you're blind to, but facing sideways, one eye tilted down toward your face. They're not watching the room, they're watching you. From the one angle where they can study your expressions, your energy, the movement of your eyes without you being able to look back. They're observing you unobserved, reading you the way you've been trying to read them this whole time. You've been trying to understand your budgie. They've been on top of your head, quietly understanding you first. Every step across the top of your head was a word. Every direction they faced was a sentence. The hair they groomed, the silence they held, the moment they flew to you instead of away, all of it was language, delivered from the highest point they could find, aimed at the one person they thought was listening. Now you are. They didn't end up on your head by accident. They climbed to the top of their entire world, and you were it. Like if you'll never look at head walking the same way. Follow, there's a lot more your budgie's been saying from up there.